I was on swim team for a few years, and I won an award that was most improved swimmer because I was like shitty at the beginning, and by the end I was the fastest of the slow people.
Today's episode of the Roast of Your Teenage Self podcast is brought to you by Hellofresh. With Hellofresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on Hellofresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Go to hellofresh.com/12roast. That's the number 1, the number 2, and the word roast. And use code 12roast for 12 free meals, including free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/12roast and use code 12roast for 12 free meals and free shipping. Hello and welcome to the Roast of Your Teenage Self podcast. I am your host, your roast-coming queen, who you know could rock a pair of guitar-shaped earrings from Hot Topic, Alise Morales, and with us today, we have a very funny comedian and one of my dear friends. She just got done writing on the new dating game, and she's one of my co-hosts on the Betches Sup Podcast. But before all of that, she was a graduate of MacArthur High School. It's Milly Tamarez.
Woo!
There
MacArthur.
she is. What mascot were we working with at MacArthur?
Oh, we were Mustangs.
Mustang is a good mascot.
I think it's a good one. Our competitors, they were like Falcons, and then Patriots. Like, and that was like at an all black high school. They had the Patriots. It was weird. So Mustangs was pretty neutral.
Yeah, Mustangs is a good one. My high school was the Cougars, which, you know, now obviously there's a sexual connotation.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I think was a good
solid
mascot.
Cougar, Panther, Jaguar, who knows the difference, right?
Yes, exactly. I think some of them are the same.
Some of them are the same.
Some cats, you find out they're actually all the same.
Some of them are
and
the same.
And that's something I learned in high school.
Yeah, I did not learn that in high school.
Were you much of a student? Like, what were your grades like? I'll go first and say that I was like a B student at best.
My parents, I wish my dad just gave me a recent report card. And it was, it was all over the place, but it was like, there were A's there were C's made of presents. I had a D or two. D's showed up when they felt like it, but yeah, I was definitely all over the place. I think like the best way to describe me in high school and in college was the Wes Anderson movie, Rushmore.
Yes.
With Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah. I always think of him as like
Little Jason. But like, listen, in every single club, all different kinds of interests, everybody on campus knows them. Most people think they're annoying, but F's in every actual class.
Okay.
Completely failing everything.
Okay, I vibe with this super hard because I was a similar student, like ran the gamut of grades. I was a pretty good test taker. Like, I'm a good multiple choice test taker. So if the class was right and the vibe was right, I could get an A.
Yeah.
But like, if the vibe was wrong,
no. And let me tell you.
No.
Because my high school was so big, it had like 3,000 students or that showed up every day. Because they had more, but no one showed up.
There were more students, but around 3,000 were present.
Yeah, there's like 3,000, but only like 2,700 would come consistently. Something like that, right? So there are all kinds of levels. They're like AP level, which is like the highest, whatever. And then there's like remedial, middle school level classes, or for people who have learning disabilities and stuff. I was in I made it like AP honors, like English and history, and then math. I was in like all the slow classes.
Oh, I was the same. Oh my God, Milly, I was the same in that I was like AP English and history, And then for my senior year, I took a math class that was called, so there was like, you had an option. So number one, in 8th grade, you could either go to Math 8 or Algebra if you were smart. You could skip Math 8 and go to Algebra. I did not skip Math 8. No. I stayed in Math 8. I said Math 8 looks fine to me.
No, I definitely was taking pre-algebra in high school.
Yeah, I was, all of my friends were in algebra, and I was like, my life's fine without it. Well, I don't think we need to be doing that.
Well, it's cool because, like, that also had, like, a different level of people, like, because all the, like, AP kids and the, like, nerds were all in all the classes together because they were all in all the AP ones. But because I knew, like, I had the slow classes with, like, the regular high school students or just regular, like, grade level stuff, you know, nothing crazy. But because I had, like, that variety, like, more people knew me. I got to, like, I feel like have a more, like, a better high school experience. I got to, like, see fights in my class. I got to, like...
the sheer tomfoolery that occurred in my math class senior year, because... So the whole point of bringing up Math 8 is that, like, by the time I got to senior year, I was already behind all the people who had done the Algebra 1 thing.
Yeah.
And then there were 3 choices. You could take calculus, you could take trig. No, I'm saying no to both. Or you could take this class called Prob Stat Discrete. Well, and it was known to everyone to be the dumb kids' math class. And I took that one. And the sheer tomfoolery that occurred in that class.
Love it.
We changed the clock. The teacher left and we changed the clock and we got out of class early.
Oh my, that sounds like the kind of shit. There was one time in one of my classes, we did like the teacher was turned around or like walked out for a second and we were, you know, like banging on the desk. Doing like peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, and like everyone's like peanut butter jelly. Then everyone starts twerking and stuff, and like peanut butter jelly with a baseball, and like just battling each other. And then the teacher comes back, and we're all like sitting down, but one girl did not get the memo, and she was like and like continued to keep twerking. And then the teacher just stood there and saw how long she could like go up, you know what I mean? Go for it. And the girl was going for like 30 seconds.
Honestly, a long time.
Honestly, a long time. And then finally the teacher was like, J. Marie, are you done? Like, she was like, and then she's like, yeah, and that girl got in a lot of trouble. Because when she got in trouble, she called the teacher a stupid bitch. And they got suspended.
Yeah,
and, like,
that really takes it over the edge.
Yeah, she had to, like, write a letter to be able to go to homecoming because she threatened the teacher. And that, you know, it's so crazy. She was so, in high school, we would all make fun of her because she was so dumb, quote unquote, or whatever, this and that. Now... It's so funny because, like, now she's, like, super successful. She's a social worker. She's, like, the last time I saw her on Facebook, she's, like, you know, like, not tweeting, but, like, posting about, like, the social and emotional needs of children. And, like, all these other people who were smart were, like, are idiots online and talking about not vaccinating.
Maybe she had some social and emotional needs at that time, and now she's like, you know what? I called my teacher a dumb bitch, but you don't have to get to the place where you call your teacher a dumb bitch.
That certainly was.
So really I feel like we've begun to paint the picture, but the first question I like to ask is, what flavor of high school is MacArthur High School? You've already said, I know it's a big high school. Mm-hmm. Is it in Miami, South Florida?
It's South Florida. It's Hollywood, Florida. It's close to the Turnpike. It's near. So yeah, like, you know, people. It's not like, because I think when I say, you know, I tell people generally I grew up in Miami because it's easier for them to like grasp. And but then, you know, when people find out I grew up outside of Miami, like, it's not like Miami's a city and then there's a bunch of small towns. It's kind of like bleeding over, like inner whatever. So I kind of say it's like similar to Yonkers in New York City, where it's like it's its own metropolis, whatever. It's very close to culture, whatever. So that's like my little. So it's like busy intersection, a huge busy intersection, and like in terms of like, so it's usually they build neighborhoods and then they're like, oh shit, all the kids that live in this neighborhood need to go to a school, and they'll build a school there.
Oh fuck, we forgot about the children.
Yeah, that's exactly how, especially with Florida with new developments. But what they did with MacArthur was built in like the 50s. So they built neighborhoods around it. So it's actually super huge. It has like a football stadium, a mini like practice thing, a track field, 2 baseball fields, an outdoor pool, a gym, a mini gym, which we actually called a mini gym. It had like photography studio. So it's just this huge outdoor campus. And I think that like my senior year, they had to restrict where people hung out at lunch. But I feel like having this big expanse, like, I think kind of made it so there are people that kind of everyone looked, but like there were so many little subgroups, and there are people who were popular in each of the subgroups, and each of the subgroups had their own drama, and like it was very much like that. So
this has come up with people who went to large high schools a couple times, that like once you're getting to that level of largeness, the like TV popular structure, the like Mean Girls high school structure kind of fades away, because there's just, you can't be keeping up with everybody like that.
And like our high school spanned like the radius was really big. You know, it's not one small town. It's like, you know, a bunch of neighborhoods. So even people like, they don't necessarily hang out during the day, or they're in different subgroups, but they all come from the same neighborhood, so they have their own drama. Or like, yeah, like it was, you know, and there's definitely like the popular people again in each thing, and like we would hear about the occasional like love triangle from a football player and a cheerleader or whatever, but yeah, it was definitely not. It was just so many subgroups, and they all hung out in their own places and stuff. So
do you remember any big, like, drama or scandals from your high school?
Oh, my God. I remember. So, one was... Okay, I'll share 2. One was this girl, these 2 cheerleaders. One was dating a basketball... I think he played basketball and football. And he was secretly fucking another cheerleader. And then there was a big physical confrontation at a thing. And everyone called the side girl a homewrecker. And it was like all this stuff. Now, like as an adult woman, you know, I'm like, I know that girl got a bad reputation. And it's like, oh, she's cheating. And like, I think he started dating the side bitch or whatever. But I'm wondering now, if I knew the whole story, what my like lens would be.
Oh my God, I think about that. I think about that with every rumor that I remember hearing in high school. Like, first of all, I just remember both my middle and high school were obsessed with herpes. The idea of people getting herpes. I remember my middle school had a reputation for being the herpes middle school for some reason. It was like crazy. Like this, like I don't know what it is about my teenagers in my area at that time, but herpes was on the brain. Everyone was talking about it. And I look back and I'm like, I wonder if any of those girls actually had herpes.
Like, well, okay.
Because I remember I also remember all of them. Like, I could tell you all of their names, all the girls who were rumored to have herpes. And I'm just like, I just don't think they actually had herpes.
Yeah. Exactly. So then this is the second big scandal. I think this is my senior or junior year. But there is this one girl who... she was rumored to have 10 abortions, which is crazy. But yeah, but that's okay. So that's one detail about. So there's this girl. She sends nudes to her boyfriend. And this is where it gets muddy. I don't know if he got his phone stolen or if his friend like said, "Can I borrow your phone?" and then found the nudes and sent them to someone. Somehow the nudes got leaked to the entire or to a lot of the high school. I'll say that. To a lot of the high school, all her nudes, and they weren't like nudes. They were like I could not get this image out of my head. She was wearing Eeyore pajamas. Oh. And you know, like the thotty girls would wear like Eeyore and Tweety Bird and stuff like that. So yeah, like a Betty Boop kind of thotty way. So she was wearing Eeyore pajamas. She slid the pajamas down to her ankles, and then like her feet were dirty. Like the bottom of her feet were so crusty and dirty, and it was like spread eagle like nudes. Like you could see to her braid. And that went around all of campus. She posted something on MySpace, and then on the comments, people put all the pictures. It was really fucked up.
Oh,
she
no.
didn't. So,
that's
yeah.
horrible.
And, like, everyone's like, well, she got 10 abortions. And I'm like, that's crazy. No one's got 10 abortions. But then,
and
like...
also, that's not related. You still don't get to leak someone's nudes just because she had 10 abortions. Like,
but I still, 10 abortions is crazy. At 17, 10 abortions, that's crazy. But
I'm going to come out and say right now that I don't think she had 10 abortions.
Well, Alise, her close friend, okay, because this is going through all the different subgroups, right? Okay. So now this is like the sports teams, the swim team, the this, because all the subgroups. Then I interact with one of her friends who's like in one of the popular people of the Spanish as a second language or English as a second language subgroup.
A very powerful subgroup in the Miami area.
In the Miami area, and it's crazy because it's English as a second language. Of course, it's majority Spanish, but not always. The Asian kids hang out with them. The Russian guy who's really hot, and then the Haitian, Haitian, Asian. They're all in that category, and they have their own drama and love triangles. So that girl, Ruth, tells me this girl was like, yeah, I was her close friend and all this stuff, and like, she had a lot of abortions. And after 3, I was like, girl, get it together. So I don't know if it was 10, but it was more than 1.
And potentially more than 2.
Potentially more than 2. I'll say that. Okay. So anyway, it doesn't
I'm going to guess it was between 2 and 5.
Yes. That turned into 10. Okay. So that's not okay, whatever. The nude spread, it's a 3,000 person high school, like shit gets crazy and then it goes, it's like the internet, honestly. Like everyone kind of forgot, like people would still but like everyone kind of forgot, whatever. So I think that boyfriend had so much guilt. He's so stupid. That first of all, that guy who so stupid. I'll tell you more about him later. But he felt so guilty about it that he took nudes of himself with his dick soft, like in a very unflattering position, and then sent them to the whole school. And then like people who didn't get the original were like, what the hell is this?
I'm just imagining being like,
yeah, no. And then people were like, what is this? And then more nudes, because like now her butthole nudes were getting leaked, which wasn't in the first batch.
So she was getting like, this was like a John Podesta's email scenario. Like there were different batches.
Yeah.
It was like a WikiLeaks hack.
Yeah. So the first batch was like, ooh, this is bad. A week later, boyfriend felt bad, spread his nudes, and then people were like, what the fuck is this? And then more people saw the butt, you know what I mean? And then her nudes circulated again to get contacts for the soft dick nudes.
Right, because anyone who saw the soft dick nudes who had missed the original story, now they're like, well, why am I seeing this dick?
Exactly.
And then other people are like, oh, you know what? Let me actually forward you the previous set of nudes. And so they get bumped back up in the rotation again.
So
yeah, I mean, I appreciate that he wanted to make amends.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like he really did.
Alise, she dumped him right after that. Started dating somebody else. I don't know if it was a friend or just somebody else at school, and they were like public and stuff and holding hands.
Okay.
And he was obviously pissed, embarrassed because he sent the whole school his dick. So no one would talk.
Well, you know what? I don't think that she's obligated to stay with him, even though he sent his friends the dick. Because
she's not obligated, but it is sad. Like, it is.
I think it's sad. Millie, I think it's a very sad story for everyone involved.
For everyone involved.
It's horrible. I think these kids, I think the moral of the story is that we let kids have cell phones and we shouldn't. We just
or like, there
phones.
should be, I mean, this gets so testy, but like, you know, I was listening to a podcast about like how important it is for women, you know, young teen girls to like explore their sexuality, and like, you know, sending nudes is a part of that, and there's always risks involved, but it's like, I wish there was like something that was a campaign or something for like I wish there was like a nude safe feature, like to send nudes, and like, but then it's like,
I mean,
somebody would
like,
easily abuse that.
I know. I mean, the horrible thing about any good invention on the internet is that it's just immediately co-opted by pedophiles. So it's just
exactly.
it's like, oh, this would be an amazing invention. Oh, actually, pedophiles are using it to send pictures of kids. Okay, great.
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly. Because like, yeah, if you're like dating somebody and you guys have sex and they've seen your asshole anyway, I mean, why not? But then, yeah, like, it shouldn't have sent to the whole school. Anyway, that guy's like, I think he's still in jail. That guy's had like a crazy life post high school that's been incredible to watch secondhand on Facebook.
I mean, his life was pretty crazy in high school. I gotta say, leaking your own nudes and it only in solidarity with your girlfriend who got her nudes leaked is a very crazy scenario.
It only got crazier after high school. I ended up in college interviewing him for one of my thesis papers because he was just fascinating.
Today's episode of the Roast of Your Teenage Self podcast is brought to you by HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh offers over 25 recipes to choose from each week, from vegetarian meals to craft burgers and extra special gourmet options. There's something for everyone to enjoy, with all recipes designed and tested by professional chefs and nutritional experts to ensure deliciousness and simplicity, though I'm sure those professional chefs love it too. Listen, I love to cook, but one of the most aggravating parts of it is trying to gather all the little extra ingredients and all the little things, you know, like every recipe, you want to make a fun recipe and you have everything except like one weird little sauce that like, now I have to run out to the grocery store. I have to buy this weird sauce. Now I have too much of the sauce. I'm never going to use this sauce again. None of that is in your life anymore with HelloFresh, because HelloFresh sends you the little sauce in the right proportion. So you use the sauce is out of your life. You never have to think about that little sauce ever again, friends. Also, over 4 in 5 HelloFresh customers say HelloFresh helps them lead a healthier lifestyle with delicious low-calorie, carb-smart, and vegetarian options available every week. I found that one of the ways that HelloFresh keeps me healthy is just by sending me the correct proportions of food. For some reason, when I cook, I cook like I'm making a banquet for hundreds, I'm feeding all of Brooklyn, when in fact it's just me and my fiance. But with HelloFresh, you tell them, hey, I'm just cooking for 2 people, or hey, I'm just cooking for 4 people. And then they send you a normal amount of food for that many people. And then you eat a normal amount of food in return. So it's actually it's a beautiful system. I just want to pass it on to you. Okay. So cook delicious meals while saving time and money. Try America's #1 meal kit today. Go to HelloFresh.com/12roast. That's the number 1, the number 2, and the word roast. And use code 12roast for 12 free meals, including free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/12roast and use code 12roast for 12 free meals, including free shipping. I gotta run because my cat is trying to get out of this room and she's about to start meowing. And I don't want you to hear that. All right, let's bring it back to Teen Milly. Let's actually pull up your high school photo here.
Okay.
So you said that you were involved. Teen Milly, she's bright, a bright smile.
Yes.
I feel like a pretty classic glasses look.
Yeah, so you can't tell, but my hair is like fuchsia. Like, it has fuchsia streaks.
Very cool.
It's the picture. So we have to get our pictures taken at a studio, right? Like a real professional studio. And so at the studio, so my mom, of course, we had to straighten my hair because for special occasions, it's straight hair. We look prettier with straight hair. So that's what this, so you can add on like senior pictures, and there's some really cool ones. I wonder if they're still, but there's like a lot of like the emo kids would like take pictures on the train tracks or whatever.
You went to an actual studio to do these.
My senior pictures.
Our school they just had someone come to the school and everyone would like cycle through.
That's for the regular, like juniors, freshmen, sophomore. Senior pictures, you have to go to the studio. And basically it's like you go to the studio, they're higher quality. They give you like, this is not a real dress.
The little fake top of a dress.
Fake top of a dress. And then, like, if you want to get nice pictures, like, you can add on, or you want to keep copies or whatever, you can add on. But, like, basically, that stuff is free. Like, just the school photos free. And then, but of course, people and their families want, like, pictures of their kids. But then you would take it the summer before senior year. So it wasn't even, like, or something like that. Like, you would take it before senior year. Like, you didn't even really feel cool yet. So yeah.
So if you have fuchsia in your hair and stuff, are you like a punk? Are you like an emo kid at this time?
Sure.
Like what is Teen Milly into? What's she watching? What's she listening to?
Yes. Teen Milly's listening to a lot of Blink-182. Teen Milly's first concert. Like, I've always gone to like Latin concerts and like Johnny Ventura and like Juan Luis Guerra, but I didn't consider those real concerts.
Yeah.
I was going
That's like concerts where your parents take you to.
Yeah. So Teen Milly, her first concert was Panic at the Disco and Hello Goodbye.
Oh my God.
What is it? Academy is, and this other band of Acceptance. So like very, very, there's a picture of me with Brandon Urie that I, somewhere on the internet that I can find. But yes, like I was very into scene, emo, screamo. I would go to local shows. So like the local shows were not near my house because I lived, in a very Latin, Black area at Caribbean. And like I'd have to get my parents to drive me to the white parts of town.
For the screamo?
For the screamo, yeah. And, like 30 minutes out. God bless my dad or my friend who would drive, and we would go, or like, even cooler, to downtown Miami. So I was a merch girl for my friend's ska band.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine a cooler sentence. I was the merch girl for my friend's ska band.
I just like to go to the shows, and like they didn't sell merch. I did it like 3 times. I'm sure they thought I was annoying. Like,
I think ska can come back.
It can come back. Honestly, Alise, disco's coming back.
Disco's coming back, and I think that we will see an emergence of a ska and emo sound. I feel like screamo like isn't being made the way it used to be being made. No. But we'll see it again.
We'll see. We'll definitely see. Ska's, just those shows are so fun because of just all the instruments. Would you
like do the skanking, like dance like yeah, I
would
do that
my mom got so mad at me because it's not like Warby Parker now where glasses are like $90. Like glasses, and we didn't have insurance growing up. That's a Betches Sup Podcast conversation. But So my parents were small business owners, so we didn't really have insurance. So I would have to so the glasses were like, I had really bad eyesight, and glasses were like $400 each. And then I got into a mosh pit, or like, my friend kept pushing me into a mosh pit at this one show. I was so excited at this one show. There was this band called Whole Wheat Bread, and they were from Jacksonville, Florida, and it was like the first black punk band that I had ever seen, and it was just so fun. And this was like 30-40 minutes outside of like where I grew up, and in Pompano or something, or maybe 30 minutes. And my friend kept pushing me into the mosh pit, and I would go with it. I would have so much fun.
I was way too scared. I'm too scared of ever getting hurt. That's why I couldn't skateboard. It's why I couldn't do anything. I would always like stand kind of near the mosh pit and be like, ah!
Yeah, no. But my friend was like that. She kept pushing me in. So I pushed her in. And like, yeah, you're in, I won't get into the ones where they're just hitting each other, but like where people are pushing each other and skanking around in a circle, like, yeah. So my friend kept pushing me in, so I pushed her in, and she just went, but like, she just stood still like a stone. So then all the traffic, like, just like toppled her. Dominoes, she was on the bottom. I went to reach and get her. My glasses slid off. Everyone's skanking on it. There were just mangled pieces of my glasses. And coming home to like half a glasses. And my mom, and like, oh, this guy helped me collect the pieces after the concert. And they were just like crusty and all this stuff. And my mom's like, what, in Spanish? Like, I can't believe, like, what the fuck? I just spent $400 so you could like chase these white guys in a circle. And I'm like, well, Mom, actually they were blind.
Yeah, actually, Mom.
She's like, shut up!
Chasing white guys in a circle, though, does describe most of what I was doing at that time. Just kind of walking behind them, being like, hey, I want to be part of your fun mischief.
Yeah, for sure. Me too, for sure.
What was your parents, like, if you got in trouble in high school, what was their go-to getting in trouble? Like, did you have a go-to punishment? Were you getting grounded?
It would, in high school, middle school, and elementary school, I would get, like, they'd beat my ass.
Okay.
Like, they'd beat the shit out of me. But high school, my parents were so checked out. I'm one of 6 kids. I'm number 5. I'm in high school. My little brother's 2 years younger than me. So, and all my siblings, like, when I was in high school, my sister is having her first kids. My brother's married. Everyone's really going through it. So just my parents were just not really, like, on me. They're, like, they just were checked out. And, like, were
you in high school with any of your siblings at the same time?
So my older brother, he's 6 years older than me. He had been left out or left back so many times that, and like by then, so yeah, I'm one of 6, number 5, Tamarez, and my family was one of the first Dominican families, and all my cousins, all this stuff, and then where I went to school, like, even though it's like, my high school was better than some of the other high schools, because we have such a big campus, we have a lot of resources and a lot of stuff. So a lot of my family would use my address, like my home address. And I think we were like one of the first people in like this nicer area, like first Dominican families that. So anyway, like my family has this huge legacy at this high school, like 30 years, like 20 years,
Tamarez.
Exactly.
Well.
Exactly. Because my first sister graduated in 95, 96. and then my other brothers, and then so it was like when those sisters were seniors, my brother was a freshman, and then like that. So then my brother had been left back, and then I think like when he saw me or when we ran into each other in the high school, like he was like, I'm gonna give up. I'm not gonna finish school. Like, and then he just completely gave up. I got his GED or something. And
he saw you one time and he was like, you know what? I'm actually not doing this.
Yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this at all. Fuck it. And like, yeah. So yeah, but cousins and stuff for sure had a but. And then my little brother was in high school when I was in high school.
And did you guys like associate with each other socially, or like did you keep your lives pretty separate?
Well, because again, he was in like there was like so many subgroups. Some cousins. I was with like the skater kids, like which hung out near the anime kids, which like the emo punk anime kids, and then also like the heavy metal ones that listen to MSI and wear like big Janko jeans, like and like when Jankos were not popular, and like all of that subgroup and the art kids and all that stuff hung out in one area, and then like my brother he did a lot of quinces, like that's his whole thing. He's probably been in like 40 quinces, and like was really popular in that circle, and my cousins were
big in the quince scene.
In like the Latin, like popular crowd, because there is like popular crowds where like people just don't care as much as like, you know, whatever. But he's in like that kind of, you know, my little brother and then like my cousins too. They are like, you know, they were like homecoming court and stuff like that. And,
yes.
Like, so we would acknowledge each other. My senior year, my cousins who were like freshmen or sophomores, they came from Dominican Republic. They're twins. Now they're like IG, like influencers, and they're like
Insta baddies.
They're Insta baddies. They're like on Univision's version of The Bachelor, which is crazy. I have to tell you about that one day. But they're like super good at volleyball. And I took a volleyball. It was one of those like 1 credit like gym classes you have to take. Mm-hmm. But I was so bad. But because they were so good, like they never let me get picked last. And like I was so embarrassing bad. But then in turn, like I would help my cousins out with stuff and all that stuff. So yeah, it's just like, so we would acknowledge, we weren't like embarrassed, but we definitely didn't like hang out all the time together, because I think my cousins hung out with me one day, like they separated the twins' lunch, and like she didn't have new friends, and she was like new to America, and I'm like, you can hang out with my friends, and like we were playing hacky sack with like a pack of like Dijon mustard.
Hacky sack.
I know
hacky sack still happening? Are people? I hope it is.
You know, I don't know. I don't think so. I think kids
we went to like Venice Beach, or like to Burning Man, we would see hacky sack.
Burning Man for sure. Venice. I just feel like teens are, you know, not to say that teens are like more sophisticated than us, or like doing not dumb shit, but like I feel like all their efforts just like making videos or TikToks or something, like they rather get around with friends and like learn a dance and like do it, or like edit something rather than kick a sandball.
Kick a ball full of sand.
Yeah.
Or watch boys in a circle kicking a ball full of sand. Because I was actually never allowed to kick the ball full of sand. And I was also too scared to kick the ball full of sand. So
I did it. I wasn't a skater, but I would go and watch. And then sometimes I would lay down and they would like do tricks over me. And they would sometimes not make it.
That would have been too sexual of an experience for me, I think. No, I found skater boys too handsome.
No, like, I did too. But they were so...
yeah, what was Teen Milly's... What was her relationship with boys? Is she dating? Is she crushing?
She's not dating. She's not seriously... She's not dating. But she's crushing a lot. She has crushes every 2 weeks. Different guys. Mm-hmm. One guy... it was so funny. One guy, we used to aim each other all the time. He was also in band. He was Jamaican, and but he was also like, he was just like a nerdy, like, but he was also he was into skateboarding, but he's very, very good boy. Very good boy. Very nerdy, like skit, you know, but like we were aiming each other and all the time, and like
a dream at that time, a nerdy boy who you met in band who's also into skateboarding, and he's aiming you.
Yeah, well, also like I didn't even say, but one of the 18,000 dumb clubs, I was a majorette for like a year. So
what is that? Is that like
the flag, the
flag,
the flags, the middle of the halftime show? It was a lot. So that's how we were both in band. So I didn't play any instrument, but I was a majorette and I would do the dances.
Okay. And, so as a teen, you were learning dances.
Oh, I was learning. I was dances were happening. I was not putting them on TikTok. And then, but yeah, so that's the majorette thing was crazy. But we'll call it color guard. But so this guy, so in band. This is also what, like, the Mean Girls thing is so dumb, because there wasn't, like, to have a hierarchy of, like, people, like, where it's just, like, the Mean Girls at the top and, like, cheerleader, whatever, is so disingenuous to the high school experience, because every subgroup had their own Mean Girls, their own drama, and, like, the band girls were the worst fucking bullies, like, I've ever experienced in my life. So
Speak on it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, why aren't there shows about how fucking mean these like band kids are? And I don't even know why they did not like me or picked on me so much. But basically, they knew they didn't like me. Because like I didn't care about band. Me and my friends that were in the majorettes, like we wanted it to be like in the Beyonce's form, the homecoming thing where like the majorettes are doing cool dances, like. That's what me and my friends wanted to do. So we did that. We tried to start a dance team. They didn't have it at the time. Whatever. So we joined the majorettes. But then there's like this whole band culture, hierarchy, hazing shit. And we were like, no, fuck that. That's stupid. And then it's like these little white girls, and they couldn't tell us what to do. You know what I mean? Because we were like, no, fuck you. So then instead they would just do like terrorism. And they didn't like me, and they found out that guy was aiming me all the time. And what ended up happening was they bullied him, and they made him, and he's like a good boy, innocent boy, sweet boy, but is like a nerd and a pushover. Yeah. So they pressured him to ask, like, while we were like engaging and flirting all the time, they pushed him to ask out this girl that they were friends with in band. And then he did ask her out. And then I found out secondhand that he was dating her. And I felt so like betrayed and then like he was like, they pressured me. They literally dated for 2 days. Like it was such a high school thing. Like they broke up 2 days later, and all this stuff. Were you like
beside yourself when you found out?
I was beside myself. I feel like I had this is the fucked up thing, right? I feel like I went on like a vacation with my family in the Dominican Republic for like a weekend or something, and when I came back, like I had found out all that news, and it was like for Thanksgiving break or something that I was in DR, and then there was like turkey grams that you can send like a cupcake to someone in the class with like a note, and you pay like $2 and they send a cupcake to your friend. So those two girls...
A lot of politics to shit like that.
A lot of politics.
High schools should actually stop doing that, because it's always bad news going on with those.
If people aren't abusing it.
But they always are, and there's always meanness and crazy shit going on with those things.
Dude, these girls made him ask that girl out, then sent me a turkeygram from him, quote unquote, and was like, hey, I like you so much. You should totally ask me out today. Blah, blah, blah. Love this guy. And then, but it backfired because I had heard about it. Like I got it like 3 days like the weekend after, so I had known. And then he broke up with her, whatever. And then he asked me out, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
First of all, this is already way too messy. I'm getting rude turkey grams, which I don't need to be fucking dealing with in the middle of my day.
Yes. Then he's like, do you want to be? And I'm like, no, dude. And it was so sad because I was like, fuck, like he could, not the one, but like that could have been a really cute high school relationship.
Those fucking bitches, those band bitches.
But for me, it was like, you didn't stand up for yourself. You didn't tell them no. You didn't even tell me you were dating her. I had to find out from the, no, dog. Yeah. It's a no
he
for
wasn't
me.
He wasn't the right man for you.
So he's doing great. He got married. He likes all of my posts on Instagram. He's like an engineer. He's
That's
doing
beautiful.
Great.
Hopefully he's learned to stand up for himself. Let's pull up this photo of you. We have a dance photo of you. Either a homecoming or a prom. We're looking at here. So first of all, again, adorable. There are the glasses. Who is this young man?
My gay friend. Justin. So I had this whole thing where I didn't want to be tied down. So emblematic of my life. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be able to dance with whoever I wanted to. I asked this white guy out, this skater guy, and he said no. This other guy.
Say his name, blast him.
I honestly do not remember.
And that's the true, that really shows that you're the winner.
Yeah, I don't even remember his name. He said no. Then there is this other guy who is cute, and I in high school was always very extroverted, and I would really bring people out of their shell. So people were very introverted and scared. I would joke around with them and be so that's how I wouldn't say I was popular in high school. I wasn't the aspiration of what everyone wanted to be, but everyone knew me because of all the classes and stuff. So this guy, I would talk to him and we would kind of banter, and I'd be like, oh, this guy, in my class. So his friends saw that and were like, you should ask Milly to prom. And then he was too scared. So then he asked his friends to ask me. And then I'm like, well, do you want to go to prom with me, Michael? For example, that's his name. And he's like, I don't know, maybe. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to go with you. So that was that guy. So I would have seriously went with him. Then there was this other guy who asked me out every day. And I was like, no, you're a loser. He's like, come on. And he would make appeals like, Milly, I'm tall. We would look so good in pictures. We would compliment each other. He was just really going in.
He was really he had a list of reasons.
But I was like, no, I don't want to be tied down. Well, also too, part of it was I was like, damn, because after high school, I was like, I'm saving myself for college. And then I went to a private liberal arts college with no guys. And I was like, damn, I should have really went out with this guy, Brandon. And I tried to hit him up when I was at home, and he completely curved me, which is okay, I deserve this because I was
You did ask me out every day, and I said no.
And then I said we were going to go on a date, and I brought two of my friends. I was an asshole. I was not cool. But... in one end, I'm like, oh, Milly, you really should have given him a chance. He was so cute and he liked you, whatever. But at the same time, he was a junior, I was a senior. And, I just didn't want to be in a situation where I was, babysitting somebody. I was,
And a junior when you're a senior is a baby. You're you
don't really know anybody. So this is also another thing, which I don't know if I could find the pictures, but, so... For pictures, I brought my friend, my gay friend, and whatever. But really, my date was my friend who, she's a dreamer, but she came to America illegally when she was 16 or 15, and she's 3 years older than me, and she had work. They pay them they pay those mules or whatever $18,000. So she was just always working since she was 15 or 16 in America alone. Mm-hmm. So when she was 19 and I was 17 or something, I'm like, you should come to prom. She just never had a prom experience.
Yeah, because she didn't get to go.
So she was actually my date. But I didn't take yeah. So I took her to prom. She wore that. She got the dress. And I didn't take pictures. I should have took pictures. But also there were rumors that I was gay. So I didn't want to. So I had this guy, and my dress was custom made, custom. I designed it, and then this lady, the seamstress made it, and with leftover cloth made my dates tie.
Oh, that's cool.
And then she made a bow. Like, I wanted like a big bow. I wish I kept that dress. She made like black tulle under it and like big bow, like big black bow on the back, like that, like took up.
So this feels like it was very like Betsy Johnson.
Yes,
energy.
A Betsy Johnson energy, but she handmade it because I was never skinny in high school. Like I was never, I was definitely swimming every day, 3 hours a day because I was on the swim team, but I was never.
God, you were on swim team too.
I was
you
on
were really
swim
doing
team.
fucking everything.
I was on swim team for 2 years or like 2 or 3 years. And I won. I was on track team, Alise, so that's a whole other thing. But I was on swim team for a few years, and I won an award that was most improved swimmer because I was like shitty at the beginning, and by the end, I was the fastest of the slow people. But anyway, yeah. So I was never skinny, but like, I was definitely more toned than I am now because I was swimming 3 hours a day, and I wasn't in quarantine, but. It was so hard for me to get a cool, cute, punky dress.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing. So I was like, I'm just going to, which, again, emblematic of my own life. Like, I'm just going to make my own shit. And it's going to be cool. And it's going to be me and whatever. So that
that is very, I feel like that's like the Milly Tamarez way. All right, let's look through these other 2 photos you have. So in keeping with your industriousness, the fact that you said you knew everyone, you made friends with people of different grades, tell me about this. Were you voted class clown?
I was a class clown finalist. So they had finalists in the women and men's category. And I feel like I was but I feel like anybody can be nominated because of their subgroups. Like the subgroups nominate. So I'm sure like anybody who interacted with me nominated me or whatever. But like there is a hierarchy, and like the girl who counted there was some weird vote counting.
Oh, are we alleging election fraud?
They said, yeah. Well, the girl who's like in charge of yearbook and class president, all this other shit, was in charge of counting the votes. And she said that she had already gotten another category that she wanted more, so she just gave class clown to this. So when they announced the superlatives, it was kind of like an award show assembly during the day. And they're like, and class clown goes too. And I stood up because I was like, it's obviously me. I'm like funny. And like, no, like the girl at the end, like, she's not funny. She was like, she was very outgoing, and the girl in the middle, like, or whatever. I didn't know her well, but I don't know. The girl another girl there, she's like a straight A student, like, she's not funny.
You're not. No. If you're a straight A student, you're not funny.
She's
Sorry.
like, she was like in the top 10, like people graduate. She's really cool, very cool person, very nice, but she's not funny. The other girl I don't remember. But me, I was actually like doing dumb shit, doing pranks, whatever.
You were putting in the work to win class clown.
I get up, they're like, class clown goes to, and it was literally like a La La Land moment where I stood up, was about to walk, and then they're like, it's actually this other person. And embarrassing. The other girl that won class clown, a week later, wore a tight shirt to school, and it was revealed that she was like several months pregnant. And I'm like, damn, she is the class clown. Like, the joke is on all of us. The joke is on all of us. All of us are fools. She really deserves the title.
Yeah,
and
she fooled us all.
She fooled us all. But you know what's the worst part of this, Alise?
We're a class of clowns.
Class of clowns, exactly. The worst part of this, Alise, is that she's super hot, is an Instagram influencer, has like 25,000 followers. And like, it's not funny at all, but it's just like a fitness hot girl influencer.
And by being hot and having been told that she was funny, she's probably caused so much damage in this world. The worst thing you can do is tell a hot person that they're funny.
It's really quite.
She's probably, honestly, that Your school probably caused a lot of harm by doing that. So
well, I had to like build this personality from scratch, you know, and create and curate. And then we got this.
You know how many different pairs of glasses I had to try on before I found these?
I needed a niche. I couldn't, you know, again, I had to try every club to be cool. Like, come on, man. Get your own. And, you know, I did bring it up in my 10-year reunion of like, y'all, like, it's fucked up. Like, I'm the only, I need to be class clown. Like, and there were some talks about it, but I feel like the 20-year is really, they're going to make everything right in the 20-year reunion.
But you should make them do a redo.
Yeah.
We're voting again.
Yeah.
And we're going to see, and we're going to count the ballots out in the open this time.
For real. And you know what? But hopefully by my 20-year reunion, I'll have a comedy special. Maybe it'll be on Quibi, but maybe it'll be on a defunct streaming site. But God damn it, I'm going to have a comedy special. It'll be out there. I'm going to have a comedy special. And if I don't get class clown, then there's no justice.
That's very real. And honestly, I feel like a really great place for us to round this out. So I'm going to ask you our final question, which is, if you could talk to teen Milly today, what would you tell her?
So much. I mean, so much and nothing, because like, I feel like, you know, I grew to be the person I was today, which I'm sure you hear all the time, blah, blah, blah. I would tell Milly... I would tell Milly about credit cards, like what they mean. I would just give practical advice. Like I would be Biff. It like go back, tell her all this shit, and like keep sit
with her while she fills out her student loan paperwork.
Sit with her while she fills out the student loan paperwork. I would tell her to buy a yearbook, because the yearbooks were like $200. I'm like, fuck that. That'll be cheaper later. And they sold out and they never reordered. So I just don't have a yearbook of my senior year. And I made all that I made like 80 pictures. I would tell her, yeah, I mean, guys, like the guy stuff. I feel like the fucked up, like, self-esteem stuff didn't really come till college. So,
you know what's interesting? I feel similarly. It's like, I actually have a lot more stuff that I need to tell college Alise right now. Yeah, I actually think teen Alise was fine. Teen
Milly was doing her, having the time of her life, swimming, going to punk shows. Swimming all the time, going to punk shows. You know, getting into all kinds of dumb shenanigans. Like, she was having fun. College Milly was going through it, but it's, you know, and also, like, I think that, I'll say this, like, in terms of, like, sappy advice, it was, like, there were all these times in high school and in college where I just didn't really understand where I fit in, or what was for me, or what was out there for me. And like now as an adult, I'm like, oh, this is what I was supposed to be doing. This is where I'm supposed to be living. Like this is it. Like, this is what I was working towards. This is what I was looking for. So yeah, just to like not give up hope that there's a place for you in this world, you know, and like just keep doing you. And there won't be people who appreciate it, but those people won't matter in the long run. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love you, friend. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And for everybody listening at home, this has been the Roast of Your Teenage Self podcast.